Hey guys, this is Cody, and this is my chemistry semester project. So, the first ingredient in my mystery item is sugar, which is also called sucrose. So, sugar in some form is found in almost everything we eat. The example I have is Nutella or hazelnut spread. So, um, sucrose is a disaccharide, which means it's made of two simple sugars, glucose and fructose. So both glucose and fructose have the same chemical formula, 6 carbons, 12 hydrogens, and 6 oxygens. But they do have different chemical structures, which makes them isomers. So sugar is used in an item to give it its sweet taste. That's why it's in most things. It's a sweetener. Um, but the sugar also reacts with some of the other ingredients to change the properties of the mystery item, as you guys will see later. So, for the second ingredient in our mystery item, we have invert sugar. So, invert sugar is in a good amount of things. The example I have for you is marshmallows. Despite what you may think from its name, invert sugar is not sour or bitter. It's just regular. It's sweet, just like regular sugar, but it does have some differences. Invert sugar is made through a process called hydrolysis, which breaks down. So it takes sucrose and breaks it down into the simple sugars, glucose and fructose, using water. So, yeah, that's what invert sugar is. So for the third ingredient, we have corn syrup, and the example I have is just dark corn syrup, which is just corn syrup and molasses. So corn syrup is made from the process of hydrolyzing cornstarch using water and heat, and it converts the starch into a sweet syrup, similar to how the invert. So for our third ingredient, we have corn syrup. Corn syrup is made from the process of hydrolyzing cornstarch using water and heat, and it converts the starch into a sweet syrup, similar to how invert sugar is made. The example I have is just dark corn syrup, which is corn syrup and molasses. So it's pretty much primarily just corn syrup. But so corn syrup is made up entirely of glucose, which is the main source of energy for our body cells. It isn't as harmful to our bodies as high fructose corn syrup, which, as the name suggests, has a high amount of fructose, which can lead to metabolic disorders if consumed in high amounts. So the interesting thing about corn syrup is that the glucose stops the sugar molecules from bonding together to keep the item from forming into large gritty crystals, and instead it gives the mystery item a smooth consistency. So just to recap a little bit, we got sugar, invert sugar, and corn syrup as our first three ingredients. So for the fourth ingredient, we have modified cornstarch. Modified cornstarch is in a lot of things. It's not as bad as it sounds, but the example I have is Sweet Baby Ray's original barbecue sauce. So yeah, it's not as bad as it sounds. It's just cornstarch has been chemically, physically, or enzymatically modified to change the cornstarch's properties. It's in the mystery item so that the sugar won't melt and get sticky in the product. Okay. So for the fifth ingredient, we have citric acid. And I have lemon juice. So lemon juice is found. No, citric acid is found naturally in lemon juice, and it's found naturally in fruits like lemons and limes. The chemical formula of citric acid is carbon 6, hydrogen 8, and oxygen 7. Citric acid is highly water soluble because of its negatively charged carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, and negative oxygen-hydrogen groups that form multiple hydrogen bonds with water molecules. It's used in the mystery item to give it a sour, tart taste and acts as a natural preservative by lowering the pH levels to make the mystery item more acidic, furthering its shelf life. The other thing is tartaric acid, which does pretty much the exact same thing as the citric acid. It just has a slightly different taste, but other than that, it's essentially the same thing as citric acid. So for the sixth and final ingredient, we have red 40. So red 40 is a super common food dye used in numerous candies and cereals like Skittles and Fruit Loops. It's used to give the mystery item its bright, appealing colors. So red 40 is a sodium salt, and its chemical formula is carbon 14, hydrogen 10, nitrogen 2, sodium 2, oxygen 8, and 2 sulfur atoms. There are also the dyes yellow 6, yellow 5, and blue 1, but they're super similar to red 40, so I won't bore anyone by going over them. So these are all the items that you need to make the mystery item. So we got sugar as the first ingredient, invert sugar as the second, corn syrup as the third, modified cornstarch as the fourth, citric acid as a fifth, and then as a final ingredient, and the rest of the ingredients are just dyes. So with that being said, the mystery item is in fact Sour Patch Kids.